feedback from a lot of people in the program that it'd be a good idea to cover off the theme today of follow-up and dive into that, sort of some strategies and best practice, setting expectations, ways that you can stand out from from the competition and other types of experiences. And I guess it's something that I hear about a lot from not only people in the program but people in the larger Facebook group, is that they struggle to get traction. They don't get the responses that they want. Things move too slowly. They might be enthusiastic about outdoor experiences. Karishma runs hiking, urban sort of hiking experiences, but you send them an email, then what happens?
So I send them a message and they tell me, like the first is an outreach message telling them what I do, and they reply saying, I love this idea. Can you, I then ask them, can I send you some more details? If I can have your email, they happily share their email and stuff as well. So I send them the stuff. There are times where they've gone on my lead form and filled in all the details as well. But it's just after that, the bookings have not come through. So I've had quite a lot of lead forms this year. Yeah. Just struggling still with the bookings. And now I've even doing some of the, other like I'm focusing still on Sydney though. So, but I do mention that if you want a relaxed day, we can also do the picnic experiences. And I've also done the lower price points. I thought that might help in case they're finding it expensive. So I also introduced the 30 and 60 along with the 120. But I'm still not seeing the traction because I thought maybe it's the price. So I tried to add in some extra bits.
Okay. All right. What I did find and what I find today working with people is that it's often not the price. It's just the expectations that you have and the way that you are warming people up. Okay. So again, I'm going to run through a few things that worked for me, and even a few things that I didn't do that I wish I had done in retrospect. With 9 years running a tour business, but then 4-5 years helping others grow theirs, the things I've learned, the strategies that work, the things I've figured out even over like post running a tour business that I wish I'd implemented when I did. Liz says, not done this for my tour, but prior businesses, the links are very important. Let me just check that out, Liz. Sorry. Take them straight to the buy now relevant web pages. Okay. Yep. That's effective. If you hold someone's hand and you walk them through the process, make it as easy as it possibly can be, so that they don't lose attention and they don't start going down a rabbit hole of looking at other things as quickly as possible to the and quickly as seamlessly in as fewer steps as possible to book you. But that's true. I'm probably talking even a little bit further back than that, and that's probably like a B2C, like a direct strategy, which is very, very important. What I'm probably, this could go, take a different pathway, but I'm talking more about building relationships with resellers, specifically, clubs, groups, societies, membership organizations, hotel concierge, agents, corporate decision makers, that kind of stuff. All right. So I just spent the last 10 minutes punching out a few notes and ideas and thoughts that I had, that things that work for me and things that I've learned over the journey. So I might even just share screen. Please, I encourage you guys to jump in and give me your thoughts, questions, ideas, and share your challenges and problems as well. I've just punched out these quick notes. So a few things that I felt were important to mention. First off, over the my journey, my experience, one thing that I learned was that you've got to have realistic expectations. Okay, it's not a short distance sprint. You don't sometimes you can knock it out of the park. Sometimes you can strike gold, but ultimately, it's a slow burn. It's a middle distance to long distance race. Okay, it's not a lot of the greatest things that happened to me in my business happened with consistent touch points, multiple follow-ups, thoughtful follow-ups over a period of time. It could be weeks, most often months, before you finally get to that point where someone takes you seriously. You get the breakthrough, you get the first opportunity, and then that turns into more opportunities, turns into a trickle, into a flow, and sometimes into a flood of bookings and opportunities. So it doesn't happen overnight often, all right? So a lot of people, a lot of you guys, I feel, have unrealistic expectations. And what I hear so often from people who come back to me and tell me that strategies aren't working, outreach strategies to corporate aren't working, outreach strategies to agents aren't working, is because they haven't actually had realistic expectations and got a really great, thoughtful outreach and follow-up process in place that runs over a period of months. They think they can send a couple of emails, no one responded, or did respond and say, we'll keep you on file. Nothing ever happens. People go to trade shows, or people do, like, you know, in-person sales calls and pound paving with concierges. They get all excited. They have these great conversations, and they feel like, you know, they're on the precipice of something really special, and then nothing happens, and they get frustrated. And more often it's because they just haven't got the follow-up process dialed in, okay? Having said that, I was always of the adage that, you know, it is so, with a great follow-up strategy, you are giving yourself the best possible chance of being in the right place at the right time, because that's what it's all about. And circumstances change all the time. Agents, you know, travel companies have shifts in strategy. They have focuses on new destinations. They have intel fed back to them that people are looking for different types of experiences. They have suppliers that let them down. They have suppliers that are overwhelmed and they need to bring in additional support. And, you know, so right place, right time is really, really important. And I always believe that you are legitimately one email or one phone call away from like a life-changing opportunity or account, you know, something that's without the right email that grabs someone's attention, you could miss an opportunity that could pay off to the extent of, you know, $50, $100, $200,000 in annual sales from one reseller or agent. Those things do happen. They happen to me. So making sure that you keep the level of enthusiasm, the consistency, and that you are, you know, you feel that you are often an email or a phone call away. Okay. And the other thing is, go.
About the long distance race, like, in your opinion, what is like a realistic expectation? Like from the time you would, you know, send your first corporate outreach email, from the time, you know, to the time you actually started seeing the corporate bookings, just so that I can, you know, set myself for a right time frame as well. What would you suggest?
It's impossible. That's just an impossible question to answer. Okay. Could I average it out? You know,
but does it take months? Like you started hitting the market? Did it take like a few months till you started getting the bookings, or is it like you just did the reach and it was like straight away? What was your experience?
It depends. The thing is, you know, it's about a need. It's about what's happening in their business at that point in time. It's about the focus. It's about the suppliers they use. So you might have oh my God, yes, right place, right time. We need someone. We're looking for new ideas. How do we book? Or it could be a 12 months in a strategy meeting. Hey, look, you know, I've been getting emails from Soulful Hikes for 12 months now, and I think we should probably give them a chance. So, and anything in between. If you average it out, general consensus in marketing is somewhere between, you know, people will often take you seriously, somewhere between 4 and 5 emails spread out over somewhere, you know, it could be 2 weeks at a time or a month at a time. So let's say 4 to 5 months could be a realistic expectation if it's consistent. Okay. Not if you're emailing someone once and following them up and saying, hey, just following up, did you get my email? You've forgotten. You absolutely and utterly forgotten. Okay. The key is to send great quality follow-ups and automate them, so that you're not having to track it. You're not having to do the work. you're getting opportunities from an email that you forgot you ever wrote. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
That's the way it happens. That's the way it happens. Okay. So sometimes as well, you need to be mindful that people don't know things until you tell them how it could be. By that, that's probably not the best way to describe it. But let's say a hotel concierge or an agent who says, yeah, thanks, but look, we've got someone at the moment that we use. We're pretty happy with them. And your response is, I get it. I respect it. We've had a lot of success in previous times with people like you in situations where they have overflow from a preferred supplier, which I'm sure you would experience in peak times. So we want to be front of mind and know that, you know, that we're there to help in those times, okay? Not to replace your current solution. Or it could be something along the lines of, get it, respect it, but I'd like to think that there's a place in your plans in conjunction with the current supplier, because what we do differs in this way, and this way, okay? So then that would get people thinking, hey, that's actually a good idea. Let's onboard them, because, you know, we do need additional support in peak times. Or yes, well, that actually seems to make sense. If you are offering something that differs to what we're doing with an existing supplier, and you've spelled out to them how they could potentially use you in conjunction. You're not trying to bulldoze in and cut someone's lunch, and you're not trying to replace someone that they're happy with. That'd be a bit disingenuous. So, but you know, you're confident that they could find a place in their plans for you in conjunction with their current supplier. So try to shift someone's thinking as well. That's really important. Has anyone got any idea, like, you know, any comments or thoughts or
Yes.
or anything before I dive into a few things?
Yes, I actually want to offer a comment here.
Right.
What I have done in the past, and it has worked for me. They tell me that they have their suppliers, they're happy with them, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then what I say is, I said, okay, that's great. But whenever the time comes that your supplier cannot fulfill your requests, please think of me. And
that's exactly right.
my details, and then whenever it comes the time for something that they can't do for you, I am here.
That's what I'm getting at.
I'm just you know,
the problem with that is,
write it
Gerard,
down,
that's
brainstorm
good.
and put it in a proper context.
Exactly right. The problem with that is that most people say it, but then they don't back it up or follow it up, so they get forgotten very quickly. Okay, they become just like another flyer in the drawer, another business card in the folder. So the key is for you to legitimately be front of mind when that opportunity arises, and this is how you would do it. So what I would do, what I did on some levels, bit of a typo there, and what I would definitely do today is I would be using obviously an email delivery service. You could use whatever works for you. Obviously, there's MailChimp, which some people swear by, but some people find expensive. MailerLite is a good solution. CreateSend is a good solution. If you want to look at a solution that offers a service where you can send small batches of emails, but they look seemingly personal, and I use this with great success with Connect 365. So I'm not quite sure of the URL, but I'll just pop the name there. You could Google it. Connect 365. Definitely not trying to promote them. Means nothing to me if you use them or don't use them, but I find it effective because the emails that you send through Connect 365 arrive as seemingly personal emails, which is a lot more effective than sending generic emails where you can expect an open rate of somewhere between 20% and 30%. My emails that I send through Connect 365 consistently get open rates of up to like 60%, okay, which is great. And people respond. So what you would be doing is setting up a follow-up sequence of emails. Yours might be 10 emails. I've just punched out a few ideas here, which I'll walk you through. And you know, my sequence there could be up to 14 emails. You might space them out fortnightly. You might space them out monthly, you might space them out weekly, you might space them out every 10 days, kind of up to you. I would think that for an outreach sequence like this, you might consider doing it on a fortnightly basis. If you want to really go hard, you might consider a weekly email. That would be okay. Obviously, with an opportunity to unsubscribe if it's not for them, which you'll find is unlikely for a reseller or a hotel concierge or an agent. Okay, so here's a few ideas. Anyone got any questions or any thoughts or comments at the moment before I dive into this? No. Okay, so the sort of things that you might do, and you need to think about the type of emails you send so that, let's say that someone receives email 1 and they respond back and say, hey, great, this is awesome, thanks so much, do you want to come in for a conversation? Then you would not think about a way that you can structure emails so you wouldn't need to pull them out of that campaign. So it would seem logical to them to continue receiving emails from you. Okay, what you do not want to have to do is manually send emails. You just want to plug it in, dial it in, hit play, and this will just run. You drop people into the campaign, you tag them right, and they will receive 14 emails from you, 10 emails from you, whatever it is. Think about how you could even double it up. So you could run through one whole sequence, and then you could set it up to go for 28 weeks with a couple of tweaks. Okay, as in a different link to a few different reviews. All right, a new email with a couple of different special things that are happening in your business. I hope that makes sense. So anyway, you might consider doing this. Email 1 would be something along the lines of sending out a trade kit, and that might be your marketing materials, your terms and conditions, your image gallery, anything else that they might need. And then you might also tell them how it works well for other hotel concierge or other agents, i.e. the way it works really well is for you to load this PDF or this presentation up onto your tablet, which many concierge have at the front desk there, so you can walk guests through it at the time that they're standing in front of you, and then show them how to book. Or you can then flick the link to the presentation over to them by email so they can go back to their room and have a bit of a deeper dive on their phone. So email 1 could be, subject line, thought you might like this, and just an email with a, hey, great conversation. Thought you'd appreciate having at close hand our current marketing materials or tour presentation, so you can walk through it with your guests. And you could also then send a link over to them so that they can go back and have a look at it in their room. Something like that, a 1, 2, 3 line email, simple, all right? The next email could be, here's what, like subject line, here's what people are saying, here's what people have said recently, subject line. Hey, name, thought you'd appreciate seeing this, or, feel free to share it with your reservations team, or feel free to share it with your front of house. A few really great reviews that are awesome. A few really great things that people are saying about us recently. Have a great day. Hope to catch up with you soon. Okay. And just sharing a link, simple link, click 2 or 3 5-star reviews, things that people are saying about you that are just epic. Okay. Next email could be a what's new. Here's subject line. So many different types of subject lines that make people open emails. You could probably dive into that in a little bit of depth. But here's what's new over at insert business name. What is new? Got a couple of special new features to a tour. Is it a seasonal thing? Is the autumn leaves falling? Whatever it is. So something interesting, exciting, and new that's happening over. Have you got a new lunch offering? Have you got a new type of tour that you've launched? Have you got a new face as a new tour guide that you've onboarded that you're really excited to share with them? All right. Share a win. This just happened. Could be you just got onboarded by the hotel down the road. Karishma, I know you told me about a collaboration you've done at the Shangri-La. Share your wins. Don't be shy. You might be emailing the front of house team at the Westin. And you want to say, subject line, this just happened. Hey, name over at the Western. We just had a really big win over here at the Shangri-La. We've created this epic collaboration where we do this, this, and this. I thought you'd really enjoy seeing it because I think it's the same sort of thing that could translate over to you guys at your hotel. It's it's been really well received and it's really exciting. Anyway, hope to hear from you soon. Full stop. All right. Share a win. What's going on in your business? Don't be scared about sharing wins with an agent. Let's say you just got your first opportunity or first 2 or 3 opportunities with Abercrombie and Kent, and you're over there emailing Kensington Tours. Okay. This just happened. Hey, product manager at Kensington Tours, whatever your name is. I wanted to share this with you. We just had a big win over here at Abercrombie and Kent. It's been a little bit of a process getting onboarded by them, but it happened recently. And we had, the first series of bookings. They went to went off without a hitch. Here's a couple of images from people on tour. Anyway, thought you'd like to know about it. Hope to catch up with you soon. Share a win. Share a media release. You guys might want to jump in here and take a look at some of the sample press releases that you would find in the resource area of the program here. What am I doing? I'm freezing up here. There we go. So over here in the marketing section, you'll see a bunch of sample press releases. All right. Write up a press release. Follow my model. You might have a better model yourself. Create it, turn it into a PDF. And then the subject line could be recent media release. So I'm just, that's all right. Just checking a few things out there. So yeah, you might have a media release. You could send obviously to media, but you can also attach it to agents and also to hotel concierges. And it's just going to be something about, a new feature to your tour, a new tour that you've launched, a new whatever it is, something exciting and something newsworthy. Write the press release, send it over. Subject line, a recent media release I thought you'd find interesting, and just send it over as an email. Hey guys, this was a new media release. I thought you'd find it really interesting as well. Hope to catch up with you soon. So that would be another email you could send. Let's just see this like consistent automated follow-up. It's just, and you're writing emails for a sequence that are going to run. You could literally just do this on repeat, assuming that most, 50% of people will never even see the first email. Okay. Some people get an email from you twice, spaced out 6 months apart. Whoopsie-doo. Who cares? Still going to be interesting. They're like, oh yeah, that's great. I remember that thing. They're not going to vilify you for sending the same email twice. Okay. Then the next one would be Famil. Hey, I'm organizing a Famil, like a familiarization trip. Whether or not you even ever organize it, doesn't matter. All right. I'd love to get some of your res team or some of your concierge team onto this trip. I'm going to give you guys a highlights version of what I do. It's going to show you how amazing our trips are, how they differ from others. And I think it's going to really help you to sell with confidence, to sell what we do with confidence. How does next month look? I'm happy to try and work around you guys to get us, to maximize attendance. Okay. So that's, again, people may not take you up on it, but it sends a message. These guys are serious. Oh, right. That's Gerardo. Yes, I forgot about Gerardo. Hey, Gerardo, we can't join this one, but we'd love to be considered for the next one. That's great. I'm organizing another one in a few weeks. How are things going? Did you get my recent training presentation? No, we didn't. Oh, right. I'll send it back over to you. You know what I mean? You're in a conversation. All right. So that's the Famil. And if you're not sure about that, remember, don't freak out. You don't have to run your whole whiz-bang, fandangled, super expensive whole version of what you do. A little bite-sized taste of what you do is good enough. And you may not ever even run it. All right. It's just consistent reinforcement. Okay. Next one, a training presentation. Hey, I would love to organize, just one sec, Karishma. I'd love to organize a training, a product training for your reservations team. I'm happy if you've got 30 minutes at any time in the next month. I'm happy to work around you. Love to come into the office, meet the team, walk you through what I do and how great we are and how different we are. How does that sound? and then you're in a conversation. You may never do it, you may do it. But you know, they might say, look, it's not the right time. That's okay. Look, I'm happy just to drop in for, you know, buy you a cup of coffee downstairs in the foyer. Does that work for you? So that would be a lead in for that. And then the follow-up. So yeah, you definitely may get some opportunities to run that sales training. And, you know, it's just like a little short 20-minute presentation, a few PowerPoint slides or Google presentation slides of what you do, why you're different, features of your tour, how to book you, some images, you know, things like that. And then the next email would be the recording. So, you know, I ran this really, and whether you even ran the live presentation or not, you know, I'd love to, you know, to send this over to you. This is like a replay of an Aventure's presentation that I did for Concierge recently. I'd love for you guys to have the recording. It'd be really, really helpful for you guys. Whoops, that's training, not you know, to be able to sell us more effectively. You know, it's also a lot of agents just grab it and they put it into their training library. So a lot of their reservations team can, in slower times of the year, they can go in there and they can update their product knowledge by running through a 20-30 minute presentation. And on that note, I've actually, you know, got in plans to run the presentation live on Zoom next month. And I'm just going to invite a whole bunch of agents and hotel concierge to come along and just do a live virtual training. Love to invite you, love to have you along. You know, would that be something that interests you? So that's another type of email. Yes, Karishma, you had a question?
I just had like a point on the FML, because it's a free experience. In your opinion, do you see a lot of people taking up on it with the FML? Like
Pardon?
when you, because the FML is a free experience, yeah. So I'm just wondering, do you see a lot of people taking up on it, or it's not? That's not like you don't see that kind of.
What do you mean? Do I? I don't run for mills. I haven't run. I haven't run a tour business for 10 years.
Oh no,
I
mean like when you did FMLs, like do you see a lot of people taking up on it? Because in my case, like if I run a FML, like my cost price itself would be like at least $60 to $70 to $80. So I'm just wondering, investment, it's a lot for me to give a free experience. So I don't know if I like send it out. A lot of people might just take it up just because it's a free experience, not necessarily like to book, but just to enjoy the free experience.
No, I don't feel like, no, because then we get into how to maximize a familial opportunity after that. So no, they wouldn't do that. They would, you know, they've got to be decision makers, and they've got to be careful. Like, you're not sending it out to anyone. You're sending it out to decision makers that have the power and opportunity to sell what you do. Okay. So I wouldn't worry about that. Also, you run walking tours. Like how hard is it for you to give them a taste of what you do without any fixed costs?
Oh, no, I mean, like if I want to give the walking and the picnic experience, then the cost would be $70 to $80 at least for me.
What, like total, or?
Yeah, just the cost, like the you know, the picnic cost itself for me is like 70, at least sometimes it goes.
So if you got 10 or 15 decision makers onto a famil, each with the potential to sell $1,000 corporate experiences, is $80 a good investment?
No, it's a good investment. I only didn't want the risk of that they're coming just for the free experience. That's what I was getting at.
You need to qualify them to make sure that they are decision makers. Okay.
They're all executive assistants, but I just thought I'll check that on you before I send out.
Okay. Well, we can. Yeah, you talk about qualifying. They need to complete a set of questions. Are you a decision maker? How many events do you organize on an annual basis, approximately? You know, like ask them a few questions first of all. You know, make it actually, you know, really qualify your leads, so you're getting the right type of people on the famil. And then when you're running a famil, you set expectations. Okay. So one expectation is feedback, individual feedback on my feedback form from every person, not just one representative of a group of 10. Okay. So that's an expectation that you set pre-famil. Okay. Okay. All right. There's more to it, but that's probably a deeper dive conversation. All right. There's a training in the in the local market recovery training, there's an actual training on maximizing familial opportunities. Okay.
Okay, I'll go through that one. Thank
Cool.
you.
Do that. And then the next one, share some customer stories. Hey, thought you want to see what how much fun people are having on or just subject line could be something like, did you see this? Question mark. You know, always think about the subject lines. Hey, name, thought you'd love to see this little 90-second video of people having an outrageously good time on my insert name of product or experience. Okay. And it could be, you know, we've talked about this in the past, just simply shot on iPhone, people on your trip that are giving impromptu, enthusiastic, charismatic feedback on the experience they're having right now. Okay. So tee it up with them. Hey, do you mind if I just turn my camera around and we can just, you know, record a quick 20-second video? I'd love to ask you, you know, like how the day's going, what you're loving most about it, something along those lines. Is it you cool to do that? Great. Hey, Jenny, man, like I see you can't get the smile off your face. You having a good day? Oh my God, Karishma, this is amazing. Like I'm just having, the weather's just turned it on. The picnic is just delectable. What did you love most about it? Because I noticed that you really enjoyed that thing when we did that thing. Oh my God, that was just amazing. It was like the highlight of the day. Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see what's in store for the next hour or two. You know, and then turn the camera to yourself. Another, you know, day in the life of a guest on a Soulful Hikes experience. Boom. Share the video. Just flick a link. 30-second video. Like that. People love real raw stuff like that. Okay. There's other types of video testimonials you can do as well, more professional, but even just simple things like that. You send that to a concierge, that'll put a smile on their face. You send that to an agent, tell them it's a little 30-second video of someone having an awesome time on your trip or on your experience. They'll watch it. It'll put a smile on their face. It'll be different. Okay. I'm just going to jump in the chat here and see if there's anything I need to. Where's the link for this document? Do you mean these notes that I'm walking through now, Tony? I'm guessing you do. Just unmute. So if you are talking about,
yes, please, if you could. I was
cool.
trying to look for them.
I'm gonna pop the link in the chat. I might even drop this little bit of recording into the members area and put the link for the notes underneath it. I think that'd be a good idea as well. Okay. So that's another type of email. Then what have you got? I'm not going to, you know, talk too much about this, but you know, what have you got? Some call to action, special offer, sale. You know, again, it could be something that they can actually sell, but it's just constant reinforcement, constant front of mind. Okay. You could I guess slant the email into some kind of promotion of what you do as well, i.e. spotlight on a thing you do that's really cool, and a call to action with a special offer exclusively for agents or hotel concierge for this short period of time. Okay. Then the next type of email could be a new product feature. It could even be something that you've got in the works that you haven't even launched yet. Just want to alert you to this really special thing that I've got bubbling away over here. Keep an eye on your inbox over the next month. I'm launching this special blah, blah, blah. Going to be super exciting. You'll be the first to know about it. Okay. Here's a little hint. All right. Front of mind, reinforcement, and something interesting, exciting. Story-based email. Hey, name, you know, obviously you've been hearing from me a lot this year. I'm still overwhelmingly excited about that first opportunity to show you what I do and how I can serve your customers. You know what? And it occurred to me, you probably don't even know much about me or why I arrived at this place or why I do what I do. So, you know, I thought I'd tell you here in this email. It's something that's been a lifelong dream. All I ever wanted to do was showcase my little corner of the world. And I got the chance to do that a couple of years ago by launching. It's been a dream come true. Everything I ever wanted to do, I'm doing right now. I'm living the dream. And, you know, I can't wait for the chance to show your customers how passionate and I am in what I do, and how the way that I showcase our destination, I believe is like no other can showcase it. Anyway, hope to catch up with you soon. All right, some sort of story-based email. 12-month recap. Hey, it's been a big year over here. Here's some of the really cool and exciting stuff that's happened. We've done this, we've done this, we've done this. Goes without saying, can't wait to serve your next customer. Hope to catch up with you soon, or hope to hear from you soon. All right. Mind if I ask you a question? Hey, name, had a quick question for you. You obviously know quite a bit about our tours, specifically our signature tour, blah, 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 and our signature tour, blah, blah, blah. Had a quick question for you. What would make these a no-brainer for your customers? Something like that. Over to you. I'm always wanting to, improve, refine, make sure that what we're doing is exactly what your ideal, what your customer needs. It sounds like a bit clunky, but that's you understand the spirit of the email. Haven't heard from you in a little while. Curious, what would make it a no-brainer for you to use us for this particular tour? The way I see it, it's unlike any other. And I know that it would complement other experiences that you offer. So what would make it a no-brainer? I'd love to hear from you. And then you could literally do that every 2 weeks for 14 weeks. And then you could literally replicate it for the next 14 weeks. 28 weeks, 14 emails, 28 weeks. You could then replicate it with a couple of, some of those emails would just be like literally as they are. Others would just be slightly iterated. For example, you might drop a different video in here. You could definitely just run the story-based email again. You could definitely run the product feature. You could definitely run the 12-month recap. People would not even remember getting the first email sometimes, and it wouldn't matter if you reinforced it. So you could do a year's worth of content spaced out every 2 weeks. The emails only need to be 2, 3, 4 lines long. And I would be so supremely confident that if you did that, you would have some major, major wins over that first 6 months, and certainly over that next 12 months, okay? And all you need to do is just keep dropping people into the sequence as they enter their world. Concierge, agents, corporate decision makers, or, secretaries, or whatever, the decision makers in clubs or groups, societies, membership organizations, school, university groups, whoever they are. If you ran that sequence automated, i.e., you get opportunities from emails that you never even remember writing. They're just like a distant memory. It's pretty cool. Okay, so that for me is what a follow-up sequence looks like. And the difference I see is that most people send out 2 follow-ups, which is something along the lines of, hey, did you get my email? Or, hey, just following up. Hopefully you received my email a couple of weeks back. And then they get nothing, and they just lose enthusiasm, get dejected, and move on to something else. All right? Any questions on any of that? Anyone got any thoughts, ideas, questions, comments, strategies that are working, things like that? Feel free to jump in now, folks, while I just head back over to the question form and see if there's been any other questions added in there over the last couple of hours. And
I put a question, Josh. Sorry, it was a bit late. I actually asked it in the group yesterday, but I just thought I'll send it out to you as well.
Yeah. So what I saw that question in the group actually, Karishma. I'll just reshare. And I actually noticed that Jackie Burton responded to you.
There were a few people actually that replied.
Yeah, but one of the responses that you got to that post was from Jackie.
Jackie, I did read.
Yeah, and I would be right in line with her. Where is that one? Where is that? Where's Jackie's response there? Bear with me for 1 second.
Yeah.
No, where the heck is that gone? All comments. Let me just refresh it. Sometimes.
Yeah, I read it this morning.
I know I saw it. Let me just see if it's there now. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, great. All right. So what did Jackie say? Definitely increase prices, reduce the number of minimum packs. Definitely. Yep, that's exactly what I would do. Agents, they want to know that the departure is guaranteed. Exactly right. So, and also as the price increases, you are, like you're qualifying people better. You're sort of serving a slightly different type of customer, but also, let's say, for example, it therefore means that your tour runs on a minimum 2, and it's quite, pricey for 2. If you, for example, only get 1 person on that tour, and they're already comfortable with an increased price point, then as Norberto said, you could then go back to them and offer them the private experience at a slightly increased price. And generally speaking, many people will go for it. If you're already sort of at a premium price by increasing your pricing, which is what I strongly recommend, then they'll be more inclined to see that as an opportunity by paying a little more to get a completely private experience. Okay.
So in my case, just to give you a little background, so usually I like 2 years, I've never had this thing. So at least I'm glad it never came up before. I used to always have a minimum of 10 booked in, but this time it was, but I just saw, and I had to change supplier. So my supplier is slightly more expensive than my previous one. So when I had 5, basically I wasn't making anything. I had 5 people booked in my tour for this Saturday. I wasn't making anything. So I decided to reschedule, but unfortunately a lot of them couldn't do the new date. So then they started asking me for a refund. So that was my other question, that should I be giving them a refund? Because in my terms and conditions, I clearly say that, if we need to cancel for not meeting minimum, we don't do refunds. We just do a credit, like a reschedule, gift voucher, which is 1 year or 3 years kind of thing.
I feel like there'd be some disappointed people if they've booked a tour and it's been confirmed back to them. And then you let them know that the tour won't run because they don't have the minimum numbers to run it. You offer them a credit and they live out of town with no plans to return at this point in time. I'd be pretty annoyed.
These are all locals though. So
they're all locals. Oh, okay, cool.
They're all Sydney localites.
Well, then I would offer them a credit with a 3-year. But certainly you want to get your prices up so that you can run with a smaller minimum. Okay.
Number. Okay. So that is because I still find it like even mine is 120 right now. I still get a feedback that they're expensive. So I was not sure whether I should be increasing them. That's
where's the feedback coming from though?
I mean, generally when I post in groups and stuff, like, a lot of people do the like, and they say this is amazing experience, but they find it expensive. So there's only a niche market that books. It doesn't appeal to the mass audience. It's only a niche market that is booking it. I might try that, but increase it a little bit, and then hopefully I can run it even 5 numbers then.
Okay. That would be my my feedback on that. Who's got any other questions, guys? Anyone got anything they want to run by me? Let me just jump back over, make sure there's nothing that I missed there. Kaya's got a question there, but she's not here, so that's why she might be on the next call. Diane will be the same. All good. So yeah, if anyone got anything they want to add, comment, hopefully this was helpful. You know, ideally, like, as you know, what you want to do is automate. Okay. There's nothing more frustrating than having to manually punch out follow-ups and keep track of things. If you just automate a system, spend a day, 2 days creating the sequence, load it up, replicate it so you can legitimately get a year's worth of content, tweak it a little bit in the second half of that content, and you know, I reckon you guys will all have a lot of breakthroughs in that time. Okay, that again, like that was, you know, my thoughts and ideas on a sequence. Certainly, it's just an example. It's just some ideas. I'm sure that, and I would think and hope that you guys would all have, you know, some other stuff that you that would work for you as well. Okay. Alrighty, Kent, I'm gonna catch up with you for an onboarding call next, and hey Liz, I just saw your question there. Go into the program, go into week 3, improving business performance, go down to the growing your email list through LinkedIn prospecting video, plus the one beneath that on automated email sequences, and that will answer your question about Connect 365. Okay, cool. Kent, are you there? Are you listening in? I know you're muted and camera off, so I don't know if you are listening, but we can just jump straight on and do our onboarding call from here. Okay.
Yep,
Orlando,
that's fine, Josh.
Cool. This sequence for you, Orlando, would be gold, I reckon. If you implement something like this, you know, particularly when you're growing agent business, I think, and obviously hotels as well, I think that'll be absolute gold. And I'm probably sure you're not doing something like this at the moment, yeah?